Hello and welcome to a new series on the Skyline. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be chasing power. And the first thing we need to do before we chase power is make sure the car has the maximum amount of grip and handles really well. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're back here in the morning, and to be honest with you, I'm really glad this morning that we haven't actually put the lower arms on, because that would make it too, there'd be too many variables with these on, because with this on, because I've got all the forearm kit on the rear, I'm able to actually move the wheel in and out, and now that we've got a fixed lower arm, I can actually make sure that this is in its position, and it does look so much better. It's not pushed back, it's exactly centered in the arch, so it does look like it was either the hub or the lower arm, which we replaced both, and it wasn't the subframe or chassis or anything really bad with the damage. But hopefully this will mean that the car would drive a lot better. What we did do last night is we actually got all of the lengths equal on this side to that side, so they're exactly the same, so that when we do come for alignment, they're pretty much exactly the same for it to be adjusted. Jamie's realised something, because I've deleted the Hicas, I'm not getting a 12 volt to my power steering. That's why my power steering is quite heavy. So what he's doing now is he's finding somewhere for it to be plugged in. Now he's actually checking all my fuses, but where we can get a 12 volt all the way to the power steering, so the power steering will always be on when the engine's on. And we've also found that one of the rubber hoses had a split in it, and that's probably why I'm flaming quite a lot every time I change gear, because it's letting in extra air and the ECU doesn't know what's going on. So we're also going to fix that as well. And I've also got some underseal to underseal the arches and make sure that they're watertight, so I don't get any rust. So this is the wire that comes from the power steering that needs a constant 12 volt. What we need it to do though is we need it to turn off when the car turns off. We don't want it to have constant power when the car is off. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a cable from there up through the gearbox hole up here, and use the cigarette lighter, as that's the only one we can find. We can't find one in the engine bay that hasn't got power constantly. So that's the way we're going to do it, and that will just make my power steering actually work. Because what happens is, because I've deleted the Hicas, the ECU thinks there's something going on here, and it actually cuts the power to the power steering. So that's why I have really heavy steering, as if I don't actually. It's like I have power steering, but it's really heavy. So if you've got an R34 and you've actually deleted all R33 and you've deleted your Hicas, you've just got to remember that you need to get 12 volts to your power steering to actually make it work properly. The only part here on the bottom of my car that actually has a bit of rust, I mean, yes, okay, there's all surface rust here, but the only one which was dangerously rusted, we've used a wire brush. I'll put a bit of spray on it, and then I'm going to put underseal on it as well. And we're also going to try and underseal and re-underseal all of this here, and probably put some sellotape on this to save this from the weather. So we've got this wire going from the power steering all the way up to the gearbox, through the gearbox up there, and then to the lighter socket, and that will make my power steering work a treat. So thanks to Jamie at Oak Hill Garage, we've been able to get the hub sorted and also the power steering done. Now it's off to Merit tyres to get the alignment done. Yeah.
Slowly, slowly, slowly. Keep it straight there, okay?
So, done all the tracking and it is spot on. Perfect. So it was just the hub, possibly the lower arm. But yeah, the tracking is proper sorted. So now, I'll probably drive a bit better now. Perfect. We're all aligned and sorted. Steering now is spot on. You won't believe it. It's like a totally different car. It's directional, the handling's perfect, spot on, and also this steering is really light to turn and effortless. I'm just going to go down this roundabout and I'll show you how easy it is to hit the apex. Turn round and exit the turn. Exactly what we needed to do. Now, let me just explain something to you. So, actually, obviously, the steering is hydraulic, it's not electric, but it has a solenoid, and this solenoid, what it does is depending on what your speed is, it changes and varies the strength of the power steering. Now when you've deleted Hicas or removed Hicas, you put an error code in the Hicas ECU, and what that means is it puts your power steering in limp mode, which means that at all times the solenoid is running at low voltage, which means that at low speeds it's very, very hard to turn the wheel, and at high speeds it's where it should be. Now what we've done, we've opposite that, we've changed it. We've made sure that it's
way through, so that it's light when we're doing slow turns like this, but it's also light when we do high turns. It gets a little bit, it takes a little bit to get used to it when you're doing high speeds, because you don't really need to turn the wheel as much. But it's so much better. It makes the car more directional, makes the car easier to drive at high speeds, because you don't need to do too much effort turning the wheel. And it's definitely a mod to have. Now, with the hub and the suspension, and setting up the suspension, the car has so much grip, it's ridiculous. I've got 285 on the rear, 255 on the front. I've got -2 degrees of camber on the front and -1 degree on the rear. And it just means that when I go around a corner, or when I try and direct it around a corner, I have the maximum amount of tyre on the road. So I have more grip going around a corner than I do in the straight, and that's exactly what you need. That's exactly what you want when you're going around a track, is you want to be able to have a maximum amount of grip around a corner. And obviously you need grip going straight, but you have to counterbalance it, because it's more important to have grip when you go around a corner, because you don't want the back end or the front end, you don't want to oversteer or understeer, you don't want them to go out of hand. And it's just perfect. Around the corner, easy peasy, hardly any movement on the steering wheel. Much more to say. Absolutely